Radio Raheem here with Kathy Duva, the last media workout, the only media workout for Sergey Kovalev facing Andre Ward. It's been a long road to this fight, not just for the fighters but for the promoters as well. Can you talk to me about how you feel now? Last time we spoke, you're having quite a bit of frustrating times with Rock Nation, and you guys are back and forth. Obviously, we're right up against the fight now. Are you happy now? Have these things been settled?
Yeah, I'm just exhausted now. But we're moving forward and things are falling into place. We're just, we all have the same goal, is to 2 weeks from today to be in Las Vegas and ready to go.
Most fight fans consider this definitely possibly fight of the year, depending on obviously how these fighters perform. But promotional wise, it doesn't seem to be quite as big a presence as we expected. Are you happy with the promotion getting the word out there? How are you gauging interest in the fight?
Well, we have a handicap in that there are no big HBO fights coming up leading into our fight, which is usually how these fights get promoted. So we're really out there on our own. We have a great deal. Well, HBO's made a wonderful documentary, My Fight, which is now available online, and everyone should watch because it was tremendous. Really showing the contrast between Ward and Kovalev, how different their lives have been. We have a lot of paid media, a lot of earned media that we've been doing for weeks and weeks. I know we have a great plan that's going to, really start to hit in the next few days, and I have confidence in the end, particularly with the power of social media, that what we have lost by not having that platform at HBO to promote our fight, we will pick up with fans just going, oh, this is the fight I'm supposed to watch. This is the one, and we've seen with social media how quickly that can happen. So I think we've covered all the bases on everything we can possibly do. Part of the problem is no fights are happening at all anywhere, so nobody's talking about boxing. Nobody's on the websites. It's frustrating, but I think that's going to change in the next 2 weeks.
Well, a couple of weeks before your fight, there's another fight in Vegas. It's pay-per-view as well. Going up against, it's unusual to have two pay-per-views so close together. Yeah. How do you intend to keep fans either paying twice or choosing your fight over the fight that'll be earlier in the month?
Well, I think they're going to decide between watching the most anticipated best fight of this year and possibly the last 2 years, or a fight where we all know what the outcome is going to be. So that's a choice that fans have to make. I'm sure they will make the right one. I'm confident they'll make the right one, and if they want to watch both, God bless. But I know Sergey Kovalev will guarantee that this will be a competitive, awesome, exciting fight. It is a 50-50 fight. It is really, when we talk about getting our money's worth, I would rather, as a fan, if I had to choose, pick that one over the one where I know what the outcome is going to be.
On the week of the fight, Rock Nation has said that they would be doing things differently, especially when they started in the business, doing things differently, bring some different attractions. Have you guys worked together at all, for fight week? What's going to happen in Vegas? Will there be anything interesting to show up early for?
Well, I think it's going to be I think it's kind of going to be the stuff we normally do. We're going to make the fighters as available to the media as we can. I think I'll have to ask them if they've got something else planned. But we come at it from two different places. We come at it from a place of, experience, and this is how we've always done it. They're coming at it, which I can understand, from a place of, well, let's try something new, and that's good. So they're doing their PR, we're doing ours, and hopefully all of it will blend together. They've got access to celebrities and things that we simply don't have. So I know they have some plans to work with people that are going to help them, advance their message. So I'm looking forward to seeing it myself.
Let's talk a little bit about the undercard. Another thing that people show up for, pay for. How did the undercard come together? What's worth looking at, showing up early for?
Well, we have a fight with Isaac Shalimba and Grovdick, who is Alexander Grovdick, who is a fighter that is with Top Rank. He is managed by Aegis, so we've got a nice crossroads fight, we think, there between two light heavyweights. Again, another fight that is going to be meaningful in the division, and between two fighters who I don't think the outcome is predictable. That's what we were going for. We also were able to move Curtis Stevens onto the card. He's going to, on the televised card, he's going to be fighting James De La Rosa. And that is Curtis is always exciting, so that's kind of main event's contribution to this. And Rock Nation, of course, has, God, I did it again. I've got a block. Maurice Hooker. Thank you. Maurice Hooker is fighting Darlys Perez. Is that right? Yeah. And they also have brought the Olympic champion, Clarissa Shields, who's going to be fighting on the card on the Freeview. So we've got a lot of interesting things, and we think this is not just a card where we put our fighters on and give them wins. That was not the intention. I don't think either side is doing that. And hopefully people that watch the whole show will be entertained.
Well, there will be a new element in the coming months. Well, a new element returning to boxing, being Richard Schaefer. You know, you've never been shy about how you feel about the promotion game working out. This is definitely going to have an impact. What do you think the impact will be of Richard Schaefer's return?
Well, I guess we'll just all have to wait and see. It'll be a little bit tougher without, HBO backing him, but, he's a very resourceful man, and I'm sure he will make an impression. He always does.
When 2017 rolls around, it looks like at the end of this year we're going to have a cluster of fights that may reset the landscape. What do you think we can look forward to coming up in 17? Is there anything you think that's going to change the game of boxing that's going to happen by the end of this year?
It's really hard to say. I think, it's time, for Floyd and Manny to have moved on. I think it's time for other guys to step up. I think this fight is an example of what will happen to change the landscape. I think that in the higher weights we have a lot more interest than we've had in a long time. I think there are interesting fights that can be made in this division, in the middleweight division, whatever. I think, it was on the welterweights for so long, and I think it's going into another group of dynamic, exciting fighters that people want to see, and hopefully we'll see more of these really competitive fights instead of one-sided fights that are really not that interesting.
Radio Raheem with Kathy Duva. Thank you for the time. We look forward to seeing you November 19th at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Always a pleasure.